Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a pretty unique journey. We're going deep into some ancient wisdom, real insights on inner freedom, the enlightened mind. It's fascinating stuff. Our source material, it's excerpts from 16 Soḷasaka-nipāta, part of the Therigatha.
Right, these are verses from some of the earliest enlightened Buddhist monks, the Thevaras.
Exactly. Very early, very profound figures. And our mission here really is to pull out those nuggets, the powerful bits of knowledge, helping you understand these deep states of awareness, inner freedom, and maybe see how these ancient texts can illuminate your own path to clarity. Right now. Okay, let's unpack this. A text that promises a shortcut, not just a basic understanding, but, well, profound insight into the mind. So we start with this feeling the text describes right away, a deep satisfaction from hearing the Dhamma. This just made me think, what is it about this teaching that brings such, well, immediate peace?
That's a great starting point. And what's fascinating is how quickly the text makes that connection. Deep understanding equals inner peace. It says, this satisfaction comes from the teaching emphasizing detachment, non-clinging in every respect.
Unclinging.
Yeah. Imagine just letting go. Your grip on things, on ideas, maybe even on who you think you are. It's not about becoming empty, but releasing that huge burden of holding on.
So it leads to inner quietness.
Exactly. A profound quietude. It's like the ultimate unburdening, really.
That idea of unburdening is powerful. But okay, how does this ancient stuff help with, the constant distractions we face now? Our world is just full of them. So here's where it gets really interesting for me. How does this wisdom help us navigate all these many wonders constantly pulling at our minds?
That's a key question, and the text actually tackles it head on. It acknowledges, yes, many wonders in the world stir up thoughts rooted in desire.
Right. So it sees the problem.
It does. It sees how these external things become internal noise, fueling restlessness and desire. But then it offers this beautiful solution. It says, like wind clears dust, so do thoughts settle when one sees with wisdom.
Like wind clears dust. I like that.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? It highlights wisdom paññā as the key. It's not about fighting thoughts, but seeing them so clearly they just settle, like dust after a breeze, which really makes you think, doesn't it? How do we cultivate that kind of clarity today in our, information overload world?
Yeah, definitely. And it seems the text doesn't just stop at the analogy. It lays out some core truths, almost like a formula for purity.
Exactly. It brings up what are often called the 3 marks of existence, really emphasizes them. These are the insights that, well, first, all conditioned things are impermanent. Everything changes.
Okay.
Second, all conditioned things are suffering. Or maybe better, unsatisfactory because they're impermanent.
Right, the inherent stress in things that don't last.
Precisely. And third, all phenomena are non-self. There's no fixed, independent me or thing underneath it all.
Impermanent, suffering, non-self. Okay, I can see how that might sound a bit bleak.
It can, initially. But here's the twist, the aha moment. The liberation isn't in denying life, it's in seeing what it isn't. It's freeing yourself from trying to make permanent what's fleeting, control what's uncontrollable.
Own the unownable.
Exactly. That heavy burden. The text is explicit. Realizing this leads to dispassion, Nibbāna, and that is the path to purity. Understanding this isn't depressing, it's genuinely liberating. That's where the peace comes from.
Okay, that makes more sense. It's a shift in perspective. And the text gives us a real-life example, right? Koṇḍañño Thera.
Yes, Koṇḍañño, one of the Buddha's very first disciples, someone who really walked this path. He's presented as, well, quite remarkable. The text says he had strong resolve. He'd abandoned birth and death.
Wow.
And was perfect in the holy life. He really embodies putting this wisdom into practice.
And there are these really striking metaphors about his liberation. Cutting through a strong stake, a snare, a hard-to-split mountain. What does that mean? Sounds like he overcame some serious stuff.
Oh, definitely. These aren't just poetic images. They symbolize deep-seated obstacles, things we all face, maybe in different ways. The strong stake, the mountain. Think of profound challenges, deeply ingrained mental habits, maybe defilements.
Okay, stubborn stuff.
Very stubborn. And the snare, that represents entanglement, getting caught in desires, ignorance, the things that trap us.
Right.
Koṇḍañño cut through all that. He crossed over to peace, became a deep meditator, and crucially was freed from Mara's bondage. Mara represents temptation, death, everything binding us to suffering.
So his story is kind of,
Yeah.
it shows us it's possible to cut through our own internal battles.
Exactly. Our habits, fears, cravings, wisdom, and resolve can cut through them. That's the path to freedom it points to.
The text also makes a point about companionship and conduct,
Yeah.
which feels very practical, very timeless.
Absolutely. It draws a stark contrast. It warns about an uncontrolled, fickle monk who keeps bad friends, says he sinks in the great flood.
Sinks.
Yeah.
Like gets lost in the chaos.
Yes, tossed around by cravings, delusions. But then it contrasts that with a calm, not fickle, wise, and restrained monk with good friends. That person puts an end to suffering.
So basically, choose your company wisely and practice self-restraint.
Pretty much. It underlines how much our environment, the people around us, affect our minds, our progress. Still relevant advice, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Thousands of years later, still true. And it all builds up to Koṇḍañño's achievement. He ultimately attained the very goal for which he left home, the fulfillment of his quest, liberation.
A powerful culmination.
Then the focus shifts, and we get this really unique description of the Buddha himself, calling him a Nāga, which means what? Noble one, powerful like a majestic elephant. It's a very striking image.
It is a powerful metaphor. And the text, especially in those later verses, it really breaks down this Nāga analogy meticulously. It uses the parts of a majestic elephant to symbolize the Buddha's qualities. It's quite beautiful.
How so? Give us some examples.
Okay, so his gentleness and nonviolence, those are his 2 feet, grounding him. Then mindfulness and clear comprehension are his other 4 legs. See how central mindfulness is? It appears multiple times.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
His hand is faith. His majestic white tusks, that's equanimity, that unshakable balance.
Equanimity as tusks.
Wow. Right. His neck is mindfulness again, and his head is wisdomand. His deep thought, that's the investigation of Dhamma. The Dhamma itself, the teaching, is his belly holding everything.
Like nourishment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His dwelling place, his settledness is concentration, and his tail, solitude, always present but detached.
That's incredibly detailed.
It is. And if you zoom out, you see liberation not as just one thing, but this composite, all these cultivated virtues working together.
So what does this mean for how this Nāga, this noble being, actually lives? How does it look day to day?
Well, the text paints a picture of total, consistent composure. It says the Nāga is always composed and restrained. Doesn't matter if he's walking, standing, lying down, sitting, always balanced.
An unshakable inner peace, then.
That's the feeling. And it extends to actions. He eats only blameless food, avoids the blameworthy, and crucially, he avoids hoarding. Has cut all bonds, big or small.
No attachments.
None. He goes unattached wherever he goes. It's a picture of complete freedom in every single activity. No burden of possessions, no lingering ties.
And then those 2 final analogies that really stick with you. They just drive the point home so powerfully.
They really do. The first is that beautiful lotus analogy. It says, like a lotus born in water, growing but not stained by the water. Fragrant, beautiful.
Right.
So too the Buddha. Born in the world, lives in the world, but is not stained by it. Just like the lotus isn't stained by the water.
Present, but untouched by the muck.
Exactly. Fully engaged, but utterly uncorrupted. You're in the world, not of it. It's such a clear image.
It really is. And the other one, the fire.
Ah, yes, the fire analogy.
Yeah,
also very powerful. A great fire, when it runs out of fuel, it just subsides. When the embers are cool, it's called extinguished. Nibbāna.
Extinguish.
It's a direct metaphor for that final state. An arahant, a Buddha. The fire's passion, hatred, delusion, the fuel for suffering, they're completely out. It's not destruction, it's cessation. A profound peace. That final, cool stillness.
Wow. That's quite a state to contemplate.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this Nāga is described as free from all that. Passion, hatred, delusion.
Completely. Free from passion, vitarāgo, hatred, vitadoso, delusion, vitamaho, and all defilements,
Right.
anasavo, attaining final Nibbāna upon leaving the body.
The ultimate peace.
That's the culmination. And it's worth us mentioning Udāyī Thera is also part of this collection, paired with Koṇḍañño, highlighting that shared wisdom.
What an incredible deep dive. Seriously deep. We've touched on so many insights here. Inner freedom, wisdom, these detailed qualities of a liberated mind. This really feels like a shortcut, a way to get deeply informed on these huge transformative topics.
It really does offer that. And, the enduring relevance of these descriptions, it isn't just about ancient history or figures from the past. It really brings up a question for all of us, I think. How can reflecting on these qualities, non-attachment, wisdom, that inner composure, or even just that image, clearing your thoughts like wind clears dust, how can that help you navigate your own complex world today, this information-rich life we lead?
That's the real takeaway, isn't it? Making that connection. Maybe consider this. How could even just one of these characteristics of the Naga, gentleness maybe, or clear comprehension, or even seeking a bit more solitude, how could cultivating that, even just for a day, shift your perspective?